So one of the things that has changed, and I think it's changed globally, but I'm not hearing too much in the UK, is that the Xero file inbox area has changed. So I don't know if you've been impacted by it, but everything that was sitting in the inbox has moved to the archive area, and every new invoice that's coming in as a document is moving to the archive area. What happened was it's repopulated for me with 8,600 filed documents, and I'm not even a big case. Other people are like hitting 22,000. The search functionality has gone, and so it's sitting. The inbox is kind of sitting bare, and you kind of have to grab everything and then file it, and it goes into archive. So initially, I thought maybe archive means something different across the world, and I've been pinging everyone, and apparently it pretty much means the same thing. So then I was like, well, why did we make these changes? Why were these changes? So then I contacted all the expat people, and no one had heard about the changes and why they happened, because it hasn't been announced publicly, and a lot of people at Xero you speak to are completely unaware of it. And so eventually, through lots of unpicking, it's come back to it was for making tax digital in the UK that these changes have happened. The result is quite unexpected, but I don't know, maybe you can shed some light of why you think all the files would move from the inbox to the archive area for making tax digital.
So is it that any new documents that go straight to archive, or anything that was in the inbox at a certain date has been kind of forced into archive?
Everything has been forced into archive, and so some new things if you put in the inbox are there, but anything like I send in via Dext goes into the archive area, as well as creating a document. So as well as creating a bill, it goes into the archive area. But if I go into the archive area and delete it, it deletes the document attached to the bill that was pushed in through Dext. So it doesn't make sense.
No.
And I think they've made changes.
Like we don't, I guess, in the UK use it. It's not advertised to us to use it. It becomes just that area that is a repository to some extent, because we tend to always go and attach documents through the individual transaction screen. So I guess from a logical point, I guess if we're looking at it from the way we've been educated to use Xero, that if we now want to start using the files or documents area, that we don't want to be seeing anything that's come in through different means. So anything that's coming from Dext kind of makes sense to sit in archive. It's not an active document because it's already been allocated to transaction. Anything we put into the system, something that's different that we put into files, we might want to allocate. And maybe, just maybe, this is linked to the thing I brought up earlier in that whole new document scanning functionality. So that maybe is what's gone on. Obviously, I don't know here. I'm completely speculating, but maybe they're trying to make files a more active area. And so anything that was in there needs to disappear. Otherwise, it's going to be chaos. And anything that comes in through different means also needs to disappear. But I completely agree with you. I have no idea why, if you delete a document, it would delete the transaction. Got it.
You know how you have something attached to the transaction that disappears.
Yeah.
So the source document. Do you not have the obligation to keep source documents for 5 to 7 years?
Yes, but I guess you shouldn't be deleting it out of the file section, because that is essentially your storage. And that's what I've always understood, is that essentially the files area is just another area to see where all of your attached documents are for all your transactions. So it would make sense to me that anything in archive, if you've removed, because it could be an error, it removes it from the attached because they're essentially linked. But yeah, for such a dramatic change, I've not heard anything about this, and you'd think you'd hear about it ahead of time, right? Warning, like big red flashing lights. This is going to happen. Make sure you've got your documents under control.
Yeah, absolutely.